Hey y'all, this is Space Marine 2112. I have tried to record this video twice before, but cats have interfered with my recording. So we are having a good time here. Um, as I said in the other recordings, and now I have to reiterate myself, I could not find a specific tier list for just the transatlantic albums or flying colors or anything that I kind of wanted to do. So I just decided to do all of Neal Morse. That was the easiest thing to find. It does not have No Hill for a Climber on it that I can see. Probably hasn't been updated in, I guess, a year. He comes out with albums all the time. I'm going to have to redo this ranking anyway for Cosmic Cathedral eventually because that's his newer band, and that sounds great too. It's got Chester Thompson and Phil Keaggy, and I don't remember the other guy's name. He's great on the bass. I just don't remember his name. I think it's like Byron or something. Anyway, so I'm going to be going through all the Neal Morse albums today. Most of these are not on Spotify, which means I won't be able to go track for track. My memory's not too good anyway, so I'm just going to be giving you the straight up what I felt about the album and from what I can remember from it and rank it based on that. Again, I don't know his solo stuff very well outside of the prog sphere. So for most of these, I'm probably going to I had to create a don't know category and they will go in there because I've never heard of any of these albums. I probably will be looking those up very soon to see what those are all about because I do some people don't like his voice. I actually like his voice. Obviously, I'm a Christian, so I love all of his worshipy type stuff, and the fact that he added prog into it, it's like Dream Theater plus Christian music, and it's exactly what I'm looking for. So I really vibe with that. The covers albums are great. I am not going to add them to this list because they're covers albums. As a matter of fact, I should just create covers. There we go. So those will go in there. Let's just clean this up to begin with. I do know this solo album only because of that one song. What is the name of it? Like All Things at Once, or the long one on it that's like multiple parts, but it's technically all one song. So I'm gonna keep this just for that. I don't know any other song on it. You know what? It's unfair to try to put it in because of that. It's a decent song, but it kind of sounds more like a Spocks Beard type stuff, but it doesn't belong in the prog tier list. So. By the way, the only reason I'm using this is because I'm lazy and I didn't want to have to create my own list, so I just used one that was already on TierMaker. So that is why I am moving literally, it seems like every album that's here down here. I don't know what any of these are, but it is piquing my curiosity to say the least. If there's anything missing here, like No Hill for a Climber or anything, I'm going to just say where I would put it. And even though it won't be the thumbnail or anything, hopefully people will watch and get the gist. So anyway, here we go. We are going to start with a classic, Spocks Beard, The Light. Fantastic album. When I do my Spocks Beard ranking, you'll see how high up there it is. For some people, it's their favorite Spocks Beard album. There's only one reason why it's probably not my favorite, and that is because of the FU part of the water. If you're talking about an album as a whole and the way it flows and everything, and again, this was before Neal Morse was a born again believer and all that, so I get it. Kind of an angsty song. It's supposed to have that vibe to it. It's still a good song. It's just when I'm listening to the song, I can't be having that song, like showing people or playing it out in public because there's basically 3 minutes of him saying F you over and over again. And it doesn't quite go with me. But The Light, besides The Doorway, I think that might be their best song, Spocks Beard, just in general. So it's got to be up high. Since there's again, I wouldn't give any of his albums below a B. Oh, I forgot this one. Below a B. So I'm just going to stick with this, and that means there's going to be a lot of albums in these rows, but I'm going to try to put them in the order that I would actually put them. The Light is an S tier album. It's going to be towards the bottom of S tier, if I'm going to be honest, but it's an S tier album. So that's where that's going to go. Again, like I said, don't have the song listings right in front of me. I'm just giving you my basic feelings on the album from what I remember. Again, I did not hate a single song off of this album except for that one bit of the water, so it's got to go up here in S tier. It's just a perfect album. Um, what was? Oh yeah, Momentum. Yeah, Momentum is a good album. It's got Thoughts Part 5, if I remember on it correctly, and Momentum's a great song. I think there was a longer song on it. Again, for most of these albums, I like most of the songs. It's really just whether I like it more than other Neal Morse albums, and I think it's of his solo stuff. It is probably one of the weaker ones, besides like Sola Gratura, Tura or Gratira, whatever the heck it was. This is probably going to be the lower tier Neal Morse. But it's still good. It's still good. Again, there's nothing that I dislike from him. I just would not put this up as high as some of his other stuff. Neal Morse Band, The Great Experiment. Great album. I actually like the waterfall and some of the things that are slower on there too. Just because of the harmonies and everything going on in there. But it is, in my opinion, the weakest of the Neal Morse Band albums. So I can't put it into A or S just because of that. It might be at the top of the B tier. This is the only thing that makes this difficult though, because him solo and then him with the Neal Morse Band, it's all different musicians. So it kind of makes this hard to rank because it's not all the same thing. But again, I couldn't find a tier list on here that were just one or the other, and I'm too lazy to make my own. So we're just going to go with it and have some fun with it. And then obviously, the Great Experiment itself is great. And then what's the other song? The Call. Yeah, The Call is a great song. Yeah, so it's a great album. It's probably going to be towards the top of the B tier. It's just not my favorite of their stuff. Flying Colors. This is this is their best of the Flying Colors albums. But again, Flying Colors, I don't know what it is. They just don't quite hit me like Neal Morse's other stuff. So even though this is the best album from their Flying Colors stuff, I'm only going to give it an A. But some of you are just like, well, an A is still amazing. But, I mean, all of his stuff is going to be in these three categories. So an A is, like, in the middle for me. Still extremely good, though. I'm not going to complain about a single thing on it. It is pretty... Primarily, I don't remember the singer's name, but it's a different singer, and he's pretty good. It doesn't sound quite as much like a Neal Morse Band. I mean, it still does, but it's just different. It's a different sound, and I kind of like how he's got a variety going. So, yeah, I'll put that in an A. Similitude of a Dream might be their best album ever. I mean, every song's a banger. The story's a banger. It's a double album. It's obviously got that huge Christian influence to it. It's just great. I mean, Mike Portnoy even says it's like one of the best or the best project he's ever been like a part of or heard, or he said something like that anyway. I mean, this has got to be up there. Obviously, City of Destruction, one of the best songs ever, and then they keep alluding to it throughout the entire double-sided album. Several times whenever the protagonist falls back into kind of like a sinful pattern, and just every single song is so good though. So it's got to be up there at the top of S tier. The Great Adventure, it's a problem. I mean, how do you follow up such a great album? Well, you come out with another great album that people are expecting to be just as good, and it's a little bit darker, and it's just not quite as good. Do I think it's still probably S tier? So many albums to go through. I'm going to put it in A tier for it. This is going to be a very difficult list. We're having fun here, though. Don't worry. This is not going to be like those well-organized. There's a lot of people like Prog Report or Prog Core. There's a lot of people on YouTube that got their crap together, and they're gonna rank. They have this ranking written down and all their notes and everything. I am not that type of guy. I'm gonna go into this, and this is just me on a Thursday night attempting to put together my list of favorite Neal Morse albums. So we're gonna rank it as we go, basically. Jesus Christ the Exorcist, for instance, is a musical. It's a prog musical, or what would you call that? There's a specific name for like a prog musical, like a concept album type of thing, like an art. See, this is why I don't do public speaking. I can't remember the name of it. You know how they do those things, though. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, and it's good. It's good, right? And I love listening to it just because of the story and how they put it together on the album. They have the multiple voices and everything, but it's not, it's an album that you kind of have to listen to all the way through to get the story. It's the whole Gospels, basically. And again, kind of like the Joseph albums, which are both great. It's not up there with his other stuff. It's hard to rank. I mean, this doesn't even go. It's his solo stuff. It's his solo album, but it doesn't even go with his other solo stuff. There's just such a wide variety in these albums that it's hard to rank them. I'm gonna put it in B for now. Same with Sola Gratura. It's not quite as good as Sola Scriptura, but by far. Again, all these albums are good. So it's really hard for me to rank them, but it doesn't quite do it for me. I mean, I thought that Paul's whole life and all that would be almost more interesting, but maybe it's because they were doing it during COVID times. It just doesn't quite have that same feel of camaraderie in the music and the heaviness that Scriptura provides. So it's going to go down here as well. Now, Innocence and Danger here, this, again, these two are extremely good Neal Morse band albums. Innocence and Danger is really good. The thing is, this is not a double album, like their other two that are up there. It's more concise. But I pretty much like every single song in this one, too. This was the first one I heard because it was on Spotify. And I really like it. So I'm going to actually probably put this above, just because I go to it more often than The Great Adventure. Which I really like The Great Adventure. So it makes this difficult, but yeah, I really like the sound of this album. It kind of carries that similitude kind of sound, but it's like each track is its own individual track at this point. There's still that what is the epic at the end of it? There's always got to be a Neal Morse epic, right? I mean, it's a signature Neal Morse thing. Neal Morse band. Let's see, I'm looking up at Spotify. Yeah, Beyond the Years. I really like that song a lot. It's got to go at least A. It might go higher eventually. I go back to these about just as much. And I go back to them quite a bit because it's all Christian prog music, and I just love Mike Portnoy's drumming. And Mike Portnoy's on like pretty much all of these anyway, except for like Spocks Beard stuff, and I don't know much about his solo stuff. But again, Mike Portnoy's in pretty much all of this. So I just love his drumming. I love everything about the music. Joseph Part 1, I'm going to actually say is better than Jesus Christ the Exorcist. I like the Joseph stuff just slightly better. And where is the other Joseph thing down here? It's not. What? They include Joseph Part 1, but not... Okay, well, Part 2 is going to go slightly above this even. So... just imagine that there's Part 2, Part 1, and then Jesus Christ the Exorcist. Again, even the bottom of this ranking here is still very good. They're all great. Beware of Darkness is a great album. I would... See, here's the difficulty here. I'm not a huge Um, what is the band called? See, I just had it in my mind. Gentle Giant. I have a friend who's a redhead, and we call his username on Steam is Ginger Giant. So I was thinking Ginger Giant, and I'm like, that's not it. It's Gentle Giant. It's still GG, but not good game either. It's anyway. Not a huge Gentle Giant fan, so. And I know some people might give me crap about that. It's just kind of weird, the different voices hopping around. It's kind of wonky for me. So I'm not crazy about the Thought song. I mean, there's parts of it that are good, and it's definitely an interesting song. I'm just not crazy about it. And then there was another song in there. Well, Beware of Darkness itself. I'm not super crazy about that song either, even though that's like the title track, and there's definitely bits of it that are good. I'm just not that crazy about those two songs. Everything else in the album is pretty spectacular though, and obviously The Doorway is probably my favorite Spocks Beard song of all time, so I gotta put it up here in S, just because of that. But I can't possibly put it lower. Yeah. Well, we'll see where it heads. But Testimony, man, that's another thing. Between Testimony 1 and 2, I mean, what do I do there? Because I don't think, yeah, Mike Portnoy wasn't on Testimony 1, but he was on 2. But I don't know, I might like the songs on 1 better. These are some difficult ones right here. This is when it gets like to the nitty gritty. And I'd even put it above Great Adventure. I think I've listened to it more. Well, yeah. Okay, we're gonna keep it here for now. Great album. It's got a great personal story to it. And yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of guest musicians. I think Carrie Livgren's in there and stuff from Kansas. I mean, some excellent musicianship in there. I do love it a lot. He's really I mean, this is towards the beginning of his solo career, so he's trying to figure himself out, but it's got great progginess to it, and it's got that great Christian, story of how he came to believe and really got into it, so I really love that. But we'll move on, because, again, I don't have, the track listing in front of me. This is just based upon my feelings from the album the few times that I've listened to it. I've listened to all these at least 3 or 4 times, so I have a pretty good feeling. I'm just not an expert, I don't do this channel for a living, so this is just kind of for the fun of it. Now, here's going to be the funny thing here. Kindness of Strangers. I like every single song of this album. Do I think that any one song on this album is better than The Light or The Doorway? I do not. But because I like every single song on the album, it's almost got an alternative rock vibe to his voice and some of the guitar sounds and stuff in it, but I really like every single song on this album. I gotta put it above. And this is an unpopular opinion, but I've already listed the reasons that these are just slightly lower. I mean, if every single song speaks to me, I gotta put it up there. So that's gonna be an S tier. And then you got, what is the name of this album? I always forget the name of this album for some reason. It's got The Healing Colors of Sound on it, but I know that's not the name of the album. It's Spocks Beard, 4th album. What is it called? 4th album. Gotta use the old Google interwebs here. Day for Night, yeah, okay. This album is pretty darn good, too. They don't have a bad album of any of the Neal Morse Spocks Beard albums. There's not a bad album, but it's not quite as high as the others. I can't think of a song that I dislike on it. I just don't like it quite as much as these. Even with the songs that I'm not crazy about, or the parts of songs I'm not crazy about in these two, the songs cohesively together to me just don't speak out as much as these 3. So I'm going to put it down here in around this area. 1 is a great album. It talks basically about how humans were one with God in the beginning, and then how we are becoming one with Him again after the separation because of Jesus Christ and His sacrifice for us. Great album. Gosh dang, it's so hard to compare it against Spock's Beard. It's a complete different sound. I wish they had these separate tier lists here. Maybe if I searched hard enough and long enough, I could find another one. But I gotta put it somewhere. They're all gonna be up around. I think I like it better than Testimony, actually, if I remember correctly. Just the feeling that, I mean, they're all gonna be very similar. Gosh dang it! Then we got Question Mark next. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's just putting out banger after banger. It's so hard to to put these in any sort of order that's like not like, oh, they're all just basically the same. Sorry, having some wine there. But here's the thing: they're not the same. They all sound completely different. It's a different story. Everything's different, but they vibe with me the same way. Man, this is difficult. Again, I think Question Mark is probably slightly better than both of these. It's such a great album. The drumming's so good. I don't think Mike Portnoy was on this one either, or was he? I think Kerry Livgren comes back. There's a lot of guests on this one. I think even Phil Keaggy is on this one. The guy that's on Cosmic Cathedral now with him. Yeah, this is just some great stuff. It's all, like, the A tier stuff here is, like, I wish it could be an S tier, but I gotta make this interesting in some way, right? Yeah. Gotta do that. Okay, Spock's Beard V or 5 or, whatever, basically has the same album cover. Well, it inspired, I guess, a Symphony X album cover. Can't remember what that album was called, but this came before it. So, yeah. It's a great album. Again, it's... At the end of the day is the song that I really remember from this album. Everything else is definitely good. I can't remember the exact track listing. But it's not quite as high for me as the other ones. And I don't even know... These two are kind of interchangeable for me. I kind of have gone back to them about the same amount. I think I might like it slightly better. Just because of End of the Day, to be honest. So I'm going to put it there. Again, the first 6 albums by Spock's Beard, I would not kick any of them out of bed. They're all just... I mean, it's so good. It's different. It's got all sorts of influences in it, from like Genesis to some Gentle Giant stuff to some Yes to, I mean, their own kind of style, some alternative sounds in there. I mean, it's all good. It's completely different than, it's neo prog, but it's like its own thing. So anyway, Snow. Oh boy. See, now the Christian influence does have some impact on me, but I got to look at it from a musical's perspective as well. And I do like it from a musical perspective, but there's a lot of music on this. A lot of music. I'm going to put it up here in S, but I'm not going to put it as high as these 3. It's close. It's really close. On any given day, these could switch, these 3 here, all over the place, but... I think I'm going to keep it like that. Sola Scriptura is going to go right up to... come on now. It's his heaviest album. I think of any of the works that he's ever done, this is the heaviest. It's so good. It's about the life of Martin Luther and all the trials he had to go through in the Catholic Church and how corrupt they were at the time and everything. Just a spectacular album. Great story. It actually made me have to look into the history of it as well. And it's just heavy. I just love the sound of it. Gosh dang. So it's got to be up there in his top albums. Lifeline. Now, a lot of people go off on this album. I actually like the way some of the songs are more worshipy and kind of more concise. And, I mean, they still got a little bit of a prog vibe to them. I love the sound of it. But, I mean, the song Lifeline itself is one of his best solo songs. And then you got Leviathan on here. And then the first song I ever heard by Neal Morse was one that my dad actually told me about, that Fly High song in here. So this album actually has quite a bit more meaning to me than even his other solo stuff that I came across later. So yes, I know I'm putting it above question mark, even though it's not quite as proggy. It just it vibes with me more. I don't know why. It just does. Um, I like the sound of it. I like the worshipiness of some of the songs. It's just what I'm looking for. So yeah, it's gonna have to go there. And again, any given day, these could all switch around a bit, but that's where it is for now. Um, Now we're finally getting to the transatlantic stuff. We got SMP TE Simpty. Um, to be honest, the only song that I really remember off this album, I know there's a cover on it, and then there's like another song that's pretty decent. Um, don't fault me for not remembering the names of every song. They were all good. I know that much. But all of the above. I mean, one of the best songs that Transatlantic has ever come out with. Um, that alone puts this at least, jeez, probably above the Spocks Beard stuff. I mean, you got Mike Portnoy in the drums. It's going to bring it up another level. Maybe even above Neal Morse Testimony. It's somewhere in here. I'm even going to put it here. It's so hard to rank all these. It's so hard because they're different bands entirely, but they've got a similar. I mean, you could tell it's Neal Morse. I mean, even on Flying Colors, you could tell it's Neal Morse. It's just they're all so different. I gotta stick to my guns. It's gotta stay around here. It's definitely a. I don't know if it's like the quintessential transatlantic album. We're getting to some of those, but it is very good. So I gotta put it there. Testimony 2, I think sometimes is better than Testimony 1, and sometimes not quite as much. Seeds of Gold is a great song. I think they had that on like the second side, or it's a B side, or like a bonus track or something. I think it should have been on the real album. It's on Spotify. They don't even have this album on Spotify, but it's on Spotify and like a greatest hits. That was the first song I heard from this album. So, yeah, I really like this album. I think I'm gonna put it here. I don't even know. We're gonna go with that for now. I might change it in the future. I'm probably gonna redo this tier list again. Okay, I'm probably gonna go through and do my research and have the notes written up. I'm gonna be all professional about it, But yeah, at this point, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, we're having fun here. This channel, I have a job. This channel is nothing more than, just having some fun on YouTube for those that want to watch and see if their album rankings about the same. I mean, this is just for the fun of it. Okay, so if you're expecting like detailed notes about every member of his band every step of the way, go to like the Prog Report or something, or like Sea of Tranquility. There's a lot of channels that I watch a lot, and they're all really good about these things. But anyway, I'm doing my best here. We're having fun. That's what matters. Okay, Flying Colors, the first Flying Colors album. I like it not quite as much as their second album, but I like it a lot. I do like it better than their third album, though. So here we go. We're going to be getting a little bit into. As I was saying, I don't like the Flying Colors stuff as much as his solo stuff or Spock's Beard or some of this. Of course, then again, I'm putting the other one here at the top of A. It's just so good. But it's different. It's different. It's a different song. Different style, different vibe. It's still progressive, but also not super long form type songs most of the time. Different singer for most of it. Neal kind of contributes sometimes. I mean, he's on the keyboards the whole time, so it definitely sounds like Neal, but it's not. It's not like Neal as like the main guy singing and like that's who you hear and everything. I don't know. So it's just different. So it's hard to rank these, but again, I'm going to put a little bit lower just for now. And then this, I'm going to put into the B tier. Oh, I know. Probably above Solar Glitcher. And again, this is not a bad album. It's just different. Again, it's during COVID times. It just doesn't quite hit as much as some of these other albums. And you know what? I'm starting to... The Great Experiment's good. I'm starting to kind of... Well, and again, I got to level out these rows eventually, so that'll probably end up coming back down, to be honest. But actually, I'm starting to realize I should probably just do that now. Okay. Transatlantic Bridge Across Forever. I bought the CD of this. This, in my opinion, is Transatlantic's best album. I mean, Duel with the Devil and Stranger in Your Soul alone with Sweet Charlotte Pike, I mean, which is kind of like a Beatles influenced song. I mean, it's a fantastic album. I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it there. Of course, that's almost painful. These three I'm going to put as like equals. Because again, they're all three different bands, different styles, different everything. Different members for the most part, except for, obviously Mike Portnoy and Neal Morse. But they're just different. They're different bands. But they all hit the same way, just differently. So imagine these three. This is like the Godhead 3-in-1 of Neal Morse albums here. This is the Trinity of Neal Morse albums. So they're one, but also three different albums. We'll just put it like that. And not one is in the album either. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna put them there. So just imagine that these are in one big conglomerated thingy. Transatlantic Kaleidoscope. It's good, right? It's good. I mean, there's not a bad Transatlantic album, but it's not nearly as good as their other ones. It's gonna go down here in a B. Probably above Flying Colors. And it's painful to put these down here because these are all good. They're just not nearly as good as their counterparts. They're all different bands and everything. The Absolute Universe, there's like two versions of the album. I've listened to both. This is the only one that's on Spotify, so it's the first one that I heard. And then I heard Whirlwind and Bridge Across Forever and was like, gosh, dang. So it's quite good. But if we're going to be leveling out these, well, I might be moving some things up. So we'll see. I'm going to put this down here for now. I think it's better than The Great Experiment by a little bit. I like all the songs on it, but it's not. It doesn't hit quite like The Whirlwind. Kind of mix it up a little bit, right? The Whirlwind or Bridge Across Forever. Again, so I just listened to The Whirlwind in the car today. I love the album. I love the Christian meanings behind everything and the allegories and what it's alluding to, but I wish I could almost put another Trinity here. I mean, they're so different, but I like them both about the same. They're both S-tier albums, but they're just different. They're just different. It's hard to say. I like some of the riffs and licks and everything on Bridge Across Forever more, though, and I think some of the songs on Kindness of Strangers just get in my head easier. Like Cakewalk and Easy Street, and so, I mean, some of those songs just like, they get in my head and I can't get them out of my head. So I would say that these are catchier than the Whirlwind, so I'm going to keep the Whirlwind here. Then again, I could say the Light's catchier than the Whirlwind, but then again, as an album as a whole, I think I like the Whirlwind better. All S-tier albums, so I'm not going to complain too much. Troika. Good album. It's more singer-songwriter stuff. It's going to go at the bottom, not because I dislike it, but because it's not quite like everything else. God forbid. They are all just so different. So it's very hard to do this ranking. But that's how it's going to be. Yeah, it's got to go down there. I just don't like it quite as... It's got the guy from Haken. I forgot his name. I've seen Haken live once at the Evening with Haken tour, and it might have been one of the best concerts I've ever been to. And I've seen Rush, right? But yeah, it's a great album. I love the harmonies and everything, but it's more singer-songwriter stuff. It's not as much prog. I mean, there's a couple songs that kind of scratch the surface of prog, but it's not quite there for me. So it's still very good. Again, I can't give any of these less than a B anyway, even if I added other tiers here, which I guess I probably could. I don't know how that works. Again, I haven't messed with this too much. But yeah, I'm gonna put it there. And then imagine no hill for a climber, right? Imagine that. Imagine that around in this area between these three albums. I don't know exactly where I'd put it. I'd probably put it after Flying Colors, the third. Actually, I'm even going to do that. I'd probably put it after Sola Gratura. Again, it's got a lot of good songs on it. I actually really like some of the more worshipy songs, as I was saying, kind of about Lifeline. Ever Interceding is really good, and then Thief is really good, and even the longer tracks on the album, I can't remember what one of them starts with an E, I think. But it doesn't have Mike Portnoy in the drums. It's got I don't remember, some guy from his church or that he's friends with. Yeah, the two longer songs are No Hill for a Climber and Eternity. Yeah, Eternity in Your Eyes. Yeah, they're both pretty decent. But it's not the band that he had from before. They're still good. It's just not quite to the same level. So yeah, that's gonna go somewhere probably right after Sola Gratura, if I had to say so. But I'm always excited whenever any new Neal Morse stuff comes out. Cosmic Cathedral, just based on the two songs I've heard so far, it's probably going to go somewhere up here in upper A tier, or, around here, maybe mid A tier. Everything, yeah, they're all so good. And they're different. There's more of a kind of a jazz, groovy vibe on that Cosmic Cathedral stuff so far. So we'll see what happens there. I'll probably have to redo this listing later, but that's where I'm going to put that. In terms of this tier list, I'm going to have to move some things around so that we can get the true... Well, actually, that's as much as I can sort the columns there. So there you have it. That is the ranking of all the Neal Morse albums. Again, on any given day, these could change quite a bit, but I believe I am happy with this ranking. Let me know what you think in the comments about your own rankings or how you would do this. Again, they're all so different, all these different bands and groups that he's had and iterations, so it's very hard to do something like this, but you know what? I think I've done it. I think I've done it decently well, too. Just, depending on the day, any of these could switch around a little bit, but I think I'm happy with it. So... yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the fact that I can actually talk louder and emote a little bit more in these videos now because my wife can't hear me from across the house in our new house, would who. So we're good there, and yeah, I hope you all have a good day, night, day for night, night, evening, whatever you guys are watching this from. Here it's almost 12:30 a.m. So I'm staying up late having a good time. This is basically my weekend. So yeah, I'll see you all later. I might even play some Doom or something, like my channel's named after in the next video instead of doing an album ranking. But we'll see. I've been having fun with these. So yeah, talk to you all later. Goodbye.